Hey guys, before we get too far into this unit, we need to just kind of go over some key pieces of information around some powers. And when I say powers, that's just, of course, meaning I'm talking about exponents. And so in this case, I'm going to talk about some numbers squared, some numbers cubed, and some numbers raised to the fourth. And the reason we're looking at this is we are going to use this kind of cheat sheet throughout this unit. Okay? And so you're going to want to jot some of these down. They will come in handy. There will hopefully be a filled-in version that you can access in Google Classroom as well. So trying to give you a lot of ways to access this information because it's going to come in handy. So we're just going to run through it real quick. And I'm just going to go through for each number. But basically, these first couple, it won't be quite as obvious. But 0 squared is still 0. 0 to the third is 0. 0 to the fourth is 0. And any power after that is still 0. 1 squared is 1. 1 to the third is 1. 1 to the fourth is 1. And any power after that is still 1. So far we're off to a real exciting start here. 2 squared, so we're talking 2 times 2 is 4. As I move further along, now I'm looking at 2 to the third. So 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 to the fourth, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Right? So we're just doubling every single time. With 3, we are tripling every single time. Okay? 4. Okay, so we're starting to get more and more numbers filled in. And hopefully you're starting to see a little bit of how we're getting these. Pretty much, I wish there was some like super cool secret I could tell you, but all we're really doing is saying, hey, what's 4 times 4? What's 4 times 4 times 4? What's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4? And slowly getting them all filled in. So as I keep filling stuff in, just look for numbers that you've maybe seen before, because some of these numbers are kind of more popular in use, or another way to think about them is that they're numbers that kind of come up more often. Like, for example, 27, 81, right? Those are some numbers that we've seen multiple times. So kind of keep writing some stuff down, but hopefully you're noticing some patterns or some cool things. So for 5, of course, all the 5s end in 5. 6, 7. Now, I'm not expecting that you memorize these because I think that would be a little bit ridiculous, and I think that would not be the best way for you to spend your time. So just know how to kind of access this chart, because we're going to use it in a couple different ways. We're also going to use this chart going backwards. And when I say that, I mean that we're going to use it to find the square root, or the cube root, or the fourth root, right? We're going to be able to go backwards by starting with a big number and working down to the smaller number. And then 10s are kind of a fun one, because if I raise 10 to a power, I just use however many I give it however many zeros are in the power. So when it's 10 to the fourth, it's 4 zeros. When it's 10 to the third, it's 3 zeros. So 10 is as high as we're going to go for going all the way up to the fourth. Everything else, we're just going to kind of focus on square roots. If we see a cube root, we'll make sure that we're all kind of on the same page and be kind of watching for it. But most of the cube roots we deal with, or the fourth roots that we deal with, will all be focused around numbers smaller than 10. Or I should say 10 and smaller, because we can do lots of stuff with powers of 10. But after that, we're not going to do too much. with these big numbers, but it's still good for us to know them. And we've done lots of practice with them already, so they should feel familiar. So hopefully you've got that table all set up. Just to kind of, just to kind of call you back there. I know they all disappeared, so that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully you can go back and pause and get those last couple written down. But the last thing I was going to just show you real quick is when we talk about squares, that also helps us get our square roots, right? Just working backwards. And we can get our cubed roots, and we can get our fourth roots. So all sorts of good things. Hopefully you had some time to get this filled in. If not, check through the notes and see what you can come up with. You're going to do great things.